So recently me and my girlfriend had a day off, so we went to the countryside to relax a little bit for a day, to enjoy the sun and watch some movies. So because last time she chose a really good movie, like I really love, she chose No Country for Old Men. And it's a brilliant movie that kept me thinking after for a really long time. So I said, whatever, it's fine, you can choose again. And because that one was a little bit too grim, now we went for something a little bit more romantic. You guys know me, I'm not super thrilled about that. Huge chunk of romantic movies are just very, very shallow exploitation and pairing up two lovable characters, like popular actors, to make a nice cash grab, and they have very, very shallow storylines. It's just a fairly easy market to go into, and it doesn't hold significant value. So she chose La La Land, and I had no idea that this movie was directed by Damien Chazelle, who directed Whiplash, which is a really phenomenal movie. I'm a huge fan of it. So only later did I figure that one out. So the movie kind of hit me. I had no idea it was starring Emma Stone, Ryan Gosling, which both are fantastic actors. So I'm going in fully blind. I had no idea this movie came out in 2016. No idea about anything that's going on in it. So we're just sliding through. And to make things worse, when the movie starts, people start singing. And I turn to my girlfriend and say, "Is this a musical?" And then she says, "I guess." She had no idea either. So that just makes it kind of even worse in my head, and I'm thinking I'll be sitting here super bored for the next 2 hours. Boy, was I wrong. I really recommend you should watch it, La La Land. If someone whom people regard as an emotionless robot very often can be blown away by a romantic musical, I think that speaks volumes, and I really, really appreciate and respect this movie now. So it's about two characters in Los Angeles, a pianist and an actress who are trying to achieve their dreams and fall in love. Okay, let's talk about certain aspects of the movie. The movie's split up in 4 acts, which represent like the seasons of the year. And we're ending with winter, obviously. The actors do a wonderful job portraying their characters. And the whole musical scheme, it's pretty well woven into the movie. It's very well woven into the film, so it has a lot of the seamless transitions, and the songs are never jarring, they're never breaking the plot, they're never stopping the movie. They're actually progressing the movie to a whole new level. The songs are extremely well done, and the fact that Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling are not real singers actually makes it to an extent even better because it's more authentic. They didn't get perfect singers like John Legend to sing in the movie. Well, actually they did, but he's actually a real singer, and that presents the contrast between them, the dreamers who are trying to do something unique, versus the commercial value and trying to just do it for the money. As I said before, the songs are not in the way of the movie. They're actually progressing the plot even further, even though every single one is fake. Every single song that they do is all fake. It's all fantasy. None of it happens. They're all absolutely fake. None of them represent objective reality, but they do represent the feelings of the characters and their perceptions. The very opening scene is everyone dancing in a traffic jam, talking about how they're gonna achieve their dreams and trying to become big, even though they're all stuck in a boring traffic jam, as every single day they are. So the songs represent this enhanced reality that's a little bit more sugar-coated. The entire City of Dreams is pretty much fake, it's bullshit. People get shit on auditions, no one cares. Everyone is in it for the money. You go to parties for social climbing. So the movie is very well grounded in reality, but it also shows us this fantasy part. Now there's an argument to be made whether the fantasy part is real just because they think about it. Now that is a question. In my opinion, it feels like they represent possibilities, much like two chess players when they play. The board is stable, nothing moves, the reality is boring. But inside of their heads, they're playing an enormous amount of games at the same time, predicting every move, what's gonna happen when, and they're going into that fantasy land. So are those moves real at the end of the day? Well, they can be. So in the movie, it takes a little bit of time for the two main characters to fall in love and get to know each other. So in their first 2 encounters, they just brush past each other. They're on their own journeys. They're on their own thing. Sebastian gets fired, so he brushes past her, even though she wanted to compliment him on his music. It's quite interesting. So everyone is selfish. Everyone is in Los Angeles. Everyone's trying to achieve their dreams, and they're not really considering anything else. They meet at a party where he's playing. She requests I Ran song. Then they go to the parking lot. And this is where I believe that the foreshadowing part comes in. By Sebastian giving Mia the keys to her car. And they go looking for her car throughout the street. So if you just substitute the dream with the car, it essentially portrays the entire movie as Sebastian gives her the key. He ignites the spark for her dreams. See, he gives her enough confidence to chase her dreams, so eventually she becomes a huge movie star. Now on the flip side, we see Sebastian go past his car just to go help her find hers, which represents him going into a more commercial career, trying to provide for both of them so she could achieve her dreams. Which is a huge archetype of a man in a relationship trying to provide for his family and ensure everyone can achieve what they want to achieve. So as causality would have it in this movie, the way dominoes are stacked up, both of them can't possibly achieve their dreams and be together and be happy. So there's a lot of choices to be made, the relationship becomes wobbly, they eventually split up, and both of them achieve their dreams because they split up, but also because they helped each other achieve those dreams. Mia realizes with Sebastian's help that she can achieve her dreams if she has more confidence, believes in herself, and doesn't care what other people think. While Sebastian, on the other hand, learns that if he wants to work with people, he has to cater to the people a little bit, even though he's super passionate about his own elitist thing. So without each other, they would never achieve those dreams, but eventually they have to split up because of it. And all three cannot be had. They can either have one dream and a relationship or both dreams. Now this whole setup, the entire movie setup, leads us to an ending sequence, which is one of the most powerful ending sequences ever. And Damien Chazelle is really good at pulling off endings, which is like, the whiplash is just mind-blowing at the end. Now, there are interpretations to be made, and the way you perceive the movie, you can perceive it as two people finding each other, helping each other achieve their dreams, and ending up happy with those dreams. But on the other hand, they lost each other in the process, and now it's too late. So now, 5 years down the line, she became a superstar, he opened up his own club, which we find out in a really well-directed cinematic moment. Also, he used the name and the logo she proposed, so he did make some alterations because of her. So she comes in with a new husband, with which she has a baby. They come in and sit down at this cool jazz club. So we get another reference to when they have met. She didn't like jazz at the start, now she does. He says that it's conflict and it's compromise and it's just new every time, which represents them and their dreams and their turmoil. And he also says that in the older jazz clubs, people spoke multiple languages. It was very crowded. They couldn't communicate, so they communicated through music. And that's when we get the best sequence of the movie by far, the ending sequence. Sebastian notices her in the crowd, so he starts playing the piano. Now, this is an extremely powerful moment because it's just silence, zero dialogue. It's just good directing. They're showing us the entire story with just a 7-minute sequence where he plays the piano. And it's absolutely mind-blowing. So he starts off with a theme he's been playing this entire movie, and he also combines it with a lot of the different soundtracks of the movie, which he finally combined into this one masterpiece to show her, to tell her. And throughout this masterpiece, he shows her what could have been. All of their encounters are now played in the fantasy land. The entire story rewritten. And in this reality, he would never achieve his dream of opening his own club. We see him playing piano in some random club in France, and he no longer engages in a conflict, as we've seen previously, with the trumpet player. Which is to show us that he's given up on his dream, or altered his dream to just be with Mia. Now, because there's no explicit dialogue in this movie, which is a stroke of genius, there's just nothing happening, so it's very open-ended, and now you can infer on your own as what you think the real storyline is. So you can have infinite perceptions on how the movie is supposed to go. You can even interpret the ending as him telling her that he regrets not chasing after her and going to Paris with her, and that would imply that he realized that she was his dream, which is absolutely soul-crushing at the end. That makes the end super brilliant. You can see them arrive in the same exact parallel of a night, except they're now together. They enter someone else's club, someone else is playing the piano. Sebastian doesn't appear to mind and he's just enjoying with Mia. And now we go back to reality at him sitting at a piano. Mia and her new husband almost immediately leave after the song ends. And we get this perfect Damien Chazelle ending that just hits us with a big message, and it makes us think about the entire movie that happened before. She looks very unsure and confused and she can't handle any more songs, while he, after a brief pause, gives her a smile and a nod, saying it's alright. Such a powerful open ending. It's absolutely brilliant. It blew me away. I really respect this movie. I love it. I would really recommend it to anyone. And yeah, this has been such a powerful movie. I really enjoyed it. That the ending is absolutely brilliant. Like, it just combines everything all together perfectly into this beautiful sequence that's absolutely amazing, filled with beautiful sounds. Like, I've been enjoying soundtrack ever since I rewatched the movie. Trying to even more understand it. It's been on my mind for a really long time now trying to unpack everything and trying to figure it out. And yeah, I think it's super worth watching. Absolutely brilliant. So yeah, if you haven't seen the movie, go watch it. You will not regret it. And if you have, give me comments on what is your perception of what exactly happened in this movie. At the end of the day, you could argue that they both ended up happily achieving their dreams, but why would the ending be so devastating then, if that is the case? And that is the brilliance of the movie. You can see it in multiple ways. There you go. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.